It's recording.
It's recording. Here we are, Daniel and Elizabeth. So, we're going to start doing these little podcast things, probably as much as we can, depending on, I guess, everyone's schedule and all that shit. But, if you don't know, we are two of the four or three members of a band called House of I. I'm sure anyone who's actually listening to this would know who we are anyway. So it's just Daniel and Elizabeth, and we're just going to start these little podcast thingies, and we don't really have any material or anything that we know we're going to talk about, so right now we're driving down to Miami for a family thing, basically. So
we had time.
Yeah, we had time to record hours of material, depending on whether or not this phone actually has enough memory to record, I don't know, like an hour worth of us just talking about stupid shit, so we'll see. But yeah, so driving down to Miami, and the traffic's not too bad right now. Your turn, Elizabeth.
This is weird. This is like the first time we've ever done this. So.
Yeah.
And we don't have anything prepared, but I guess it's not the worst thing ever.
It's not the worst thing ever.
So
I listen to podcasts all the time, actually. Like, I pretty much do that every day where I work right now, which is the Clearwater Marine Aquarium. I pretty much just listen to WTF with Mark Maron. I've been listening to the Joe Rogan Experience. I like Nerdist, the Nerdist podcast with Chris Hardwick. That one's cool.
Who's Chris Hardwick?
Chris Hardwick is a comedian, apparently.
Apparently, that's rude.
Well, I haven't listened to any of his comedy or anything like that, so, like, any of his stand-up. But even though I love music and all that stuff, I also love, for some reason, I love listening to interviews, and I love listening to comedians talk about comedy for some reason. I don't know, maybe I should be a comedian, but I'm not funny, so.
You're hysterical.
Shut your mouth, Clay. But yeah, so I listen to podcasts all the time, and I've been wanting to do this for a while because I feel like it'd be really cool to start having other bands that we know, on our show or whatever, and just start like having like a music podcast where we can start interviewing, or not necessarily interviewing, but just talking with other bands about the scene down here in Tampa, and about like maybe like how they got started and all that shit. And I think that would be pretty cool to start doing.
Yeah. Also, I mean, it would be good to get people from out of town.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, because then we're bringing in people that are talking about the music scene elsewhere. I mean, other parts of Florida. Honestly, I mean, other parts of the country would be good too.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I mean, that's kind of how. Yeah, I'm just burping. That's happening. That's totally happening. That's kind of what the idea would be to like have a podcast that's so known that people start just like emailing us and are like, hey, like we'd like to be on that. I mean, I'm sure that would take years and years of doing it, and I mean, this is literally a fucking swing to like just get it started. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even know if we have the right equipment for it, but
yeah, we have no idea how this is gonna sound.
Yeah. But anyway,
hopefully good.
Hopefully it's loud enough. I think it will be. The microphone on the iPhone is pretty loud. But yeah, so I like that. And Ellie, I don't really think Ellie listens to any podcasts, right?
No, not religiously. Not like I follow the episodes.
Oh, another one that I like a lot is the Kevin Pollak chat show. I like that one a lot too. That one's really funny. He always has cool fucking people on there. Yeah, I don't know. Like I was saying, I like that shit a lot. I don't know.
I think it would be kind of. First, we have to get all the right equipment and stuff, But I think that being able to adapt to certain situations where we can maybe sit down and talk to someone at a pub after a show would be a good idea too. I mean, make it so that we can put out episodes as much as possible, as quickly as possible. So I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's cool. That is a good idea. But yeah, next subject.
We're professionals. You know, we know.
We know what we're going to talk about next.
Heck yeah. But I mean, I think also a cool thing to do on this would be to, I mean, honestly, we could have episodes of just everything, you know. We have a friend of ours, Patrick, who wants to start doing like movie reviews, so we can do that. I mean, we could also bring you like reviews of concerts that we all go to. I mean, we all go to a lot of shows and stuff, so that'd be cool. And YouTube videos. We're gonna do YouTube, so we don't really have a channel yet, do we?
Channel pending, I guess.
TBD.
Is it? No, TBA. To be announced.
Or to be determined. TBD.
No, TBA sounds better.
TBA sounds like an STD.
You sound like an STD.
That's awful. You got the TBA.
You've got TBA all in your mouth.
TBA in your ear.
TBA.
TBA in your ear.
But yeah, so let's talk stuff, man. Let's talk about pot, bro.
Oh my god. What do you know about any of that?
What do you do when your day's by yourself?
So, why don't you talk about what you do at the aquarium?
No!
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, yeah. So, you know what'd be funny to talk about on this? That whole situation that was happening with this chick.
Yeah.
So, alright, so I work at the Clearwater Marine Aquarium. And I'm not gonna put any names out there. I mean, I completely doubt. Well, actually, she's a friend of mine on Facebook, so she might. If I ever post this on Facebook, she might see it and actually listen to it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Anyway, whatever.
No names, bro.
I won't say any names, but I'll just say what happened. So, I work at the Clearwater Marine Aquarium, and I work for water quality, which basically all we do is we take samples from all the tanks that are there, and we do chemistry on them. So we do nitrites and nitrates and all that shit, just to see where these tanks are in their cycle, in their water cycle, or the nitrogen cycle. So basically, you don't want any high levels of nitrates or nitrites. It's bad. It's harmful for the animals. I specifically work in an area which is called the fish quarantine. And in there we have a bunch of tanks that are not really being used. We have a couple tanks, like maybe one or two that are not being used. And then I just literally moved one of the tanks, which is a fish, to one of the tanks that are up on display, I guess is what you would say. Anyway, so I work in this department, the water quality department. This person works in hospitality, which are the people that deal specifically with people. So, you know, they're the people that will be standing at, like, let's say, an exhibit there at the aquarium, and they'll explain to you, you know, what the aquarium's about and what that exhibit's about and all that shit. So we work in separate departments. Now, I see all these people all the time because I'm walking through the aquarium at all times, you know, like to grab samples or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So naturally, me being me, I try to talk to people or whatever. I try to strike up a conversation. So I started striking up a conversation with this person. Found out that she's Cuban, No, she was born in Cuba. Yeah, and she moved over here. All this stuff. Is married to a military man and whatnot. Whatever. So whatever. After talking to her a couple times, she just said, like, hey, like, what, are you on Facebook? I said, yeah, whatever. She found me on Facebook, and then she, whatever, friended me, and I didn't think anything about it, because, you know, I met a couple people there from a different department, for example, or whatever, and they friended me on Facebook as well, but that's more of like a connections type of thing. It's not really like, I don't think they had any intention of flirting with me, or whatever. So anyways, yeah, so I thought that was just normal. So I think after, like, I think pretty immediately, the same day that I accepted her friend request, she started, you know, sending me messages on Facebook, and I responded. It was like normal conversation at first, And then at one point she's like, hey, it's easier to text rather than messaging on Facebook, because I don't have Facebook Messenger or whatever. I typically just, log on to Facebook and message people accordingly or whatever. So I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll just send her my number, it's not a big deal. Or actually, she sent me her number, she was like, text me here, and I was like, okay, whatever, it's not a big deal. Oh shit, do I have to go this way, don't I?
Yeah, 275, so.
I should be fine. Here.
Yeah, you still have time to switch.
No, I'm good in this lane. Okay, what was I saying? Anyway, so yeah. So she sent me her number, we were having this conversation, we were just talking, like I was, getting to know her or whatever, as you would do with any person, talking about life, about our life or whatever, like, just who we are or whatever, and, of course, me being with Elizabeth came up, and yeah, I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm dating a girl, we've been dating for 5 years, she plays in a band, and I was also kind of like promoting, I always do that whenever I meet someone. I'm not trying to be a dick, but it's just what it is, like I play in a band and I kind of try to promote that band as much as possible. So that happened. So I sent her a link, to our Facebook page and our music video online and stuff. She checked it out, said that we sounded like Slipknot, which I thought was kind of crazy. I'm like, how the fuck do we sound like Slipknot? Like that's like a heavy metal band or whatever. Anyway, so as we're texting on our phones, she just starts texting me like a lot. Like she's like all over that. Like she's texting me every day, and texting
on your days off.
Even on my days off, yeah. And just things like, at first I was like, oh, she's just, maybe she's, I don't know. I just didn't know what to think, because it never happened to me before, where a girl was just texting me like more than Ellie texts me, you know what I'm saying? And at first I just thought she was trying to be friendly or whatever, not really with any intention of flirting, and she just continued doing it, and like, oh, how's it going, and like, how's it going at the aquarium if I was working and she wasn't there. And then at some point I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stop responding, because this is getting, like, she's just texting me like way too much. Like it's almost like all she's doing is texting me. And I see her at work too, so it's like, what the hell? Like, I see you, we have a conversation at work, I have a girlfriend, you're married, like, what the fuck? Anyway, so yeah, so she just keeps on texting, and at some point, she sends a photo of herself, because she was in a situation where she felt like people thought that she was a white girl instead of a Hispanic, since she's Cuban. But I was like, I guess since I kind of known her, like, I'm like, no, you look Cuban to me. So she's sending photos, and that's like a kind of red flag, like, why are you sending me like this photo? And it wasn't like a normal photo, it was like a fucking, like, look at me, like, like, this is like me trying to like look nice for you, you know what I'm saying? Fuck, I'm just like speeding my ass off over here. Fucking going 75. Yeah, I got it. Talking, that's why. So yeah, so she sent me these photos, and then this is when I start like letting Ellie know. I'm like, look, man, this girl is like texting me like this shit, and I'm just trying to let her know that I'm not fucking flirting, you know what I'm saying?
He
like,
was though.
I was not flirting. So I sent her like screenshots and shit, and then yeah, so then I really started to ignore her, and she was just sending messages that kind of, were like totally like pushing to like respond, you know what I'm saying? Like, not like a normal text where, like, if you don't answer, you just, okay, well, you don't answer. No, like, even if I wasn't answering, she was texting me still about, like, some, I don't know, just, like, a conversation that we might have had before. So I was like, it got to a point where I was like, okay, I need to let her know that, look, I'm not about that life, first of all. Like, I'm not down to cheat on my girl or whatever. And I couldn't believe that if that was her intention of flirting, she's fucking married, man. She literally just got married. And she's doing this, I'm like thinking, if her man knew that she was texting me so often, I'm pretty sure he'd be really uncomfortable with that. I mean, I know I would. That's just fucking weird, So I sent her this long message, basically trying not to be rude or whatever, but explaining to her that she was coming off as she was trying to flirt with me, and it was making me and Ellie uncomfortable. And once I sent her this message, she just stopped texting me, like, altogether. I haven't heard from her. I haven't seen her at work, and I haven't heard from her, Oh shit! But before I sent the day of that I sent this message, before I sent it to her she was at work with me.
Work.
Dude, so me and this other intern that worked there, we're fucking cleaning some shit out from like an aquarium, and it's like this area that's like it's like a dock basically. There's it's right there the aquarium sits on the bay, so there's like a dock, and we usually sometimes we have to clean stuff up. We take it out there and we spray it down with a hose. And we were doing that, and I look up, just looking around, and I fucking see this girl just staring at us from the second floor of the building, like maybe like 30, 40 yards away, just staring at us like with her arms crossed, and it fucking scared the shit out of me, man. I was just like, what the fuck is going on? This girl is staring at us, man. And I didn't, like, at first I kind of looked away and I was like, is that her? And then I realized it was fucking her, and it scared me so hard, dude. So hard. I fucking literally, like, oh man, I literally just like my heart dropped a little bit, and then and then when we went back inside our fish quarantine place, and I told the intern, I was like, guess what I just fucking saw? And then I told her, that this girl was staring at her. She's like, oh my god, now she's stalking us. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so scared. So yeah, that same day, that's when I sent her the message. And before I sent her the message, on my way home, talking to Ellie about that situation, she texted me on my way home from work. Like, I just saw her, and she texted me, and I was like, okay, this is too much.
It would have been, like, different if she would have answered the text message.
Yeah, and she didn't respond. Yeah.
Explaining that she wasn't trying to do that she just came off a little heavy because maybe she's, maybe she wants someone to talk to, but it's just not the way you go about it.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a weird situation. I'm glad that I sent that message, because she stopped texting me. Now, excuse me. What I'm a little nervous about, I guess, is getting back to work and that whole situation. Like, I don't know.
Does she not work Fridays?
I don't know. I don't remember. I do not remember. I just hope that she either ignores me or she quit.
That's it.
Because, or if I see her and she's nice and she's not like
weird about it,
then that'd be cool too. But I don't know. I doubt it. She would have at least sent me a message like, oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to come off that way. I was just trying to be friendly or whatever. I don't have people to talk to or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, maybe she felt really embarrassed and didn't send that message.
Yeah, maybe
because she was embarrassed, but that just made the whole situation worse.
Yeah.
I mean,
that makes it more awkward.
In the situation that we're, like, in our point of view, that just makes it seem like she was trying to flirt with you.
Yeah, that's what I think, honestly.
So,
like, not texting is like, fuck, they figured me out, or whatever,
But, awkward situations of life.
Yeah. So I'm glad that's over. And
at least you didn't try to grab your crotch.
Yeah, fucking A, dude. That would have been...
You would have loved it.
I would have punched her in the mouth. And I never condone violence, but only in situations like that.
I mean, you're basically being molested.
Yeah, I'm being molested, which is not cool.
You have to defend yourself.
Yeah.
By punching her.
By punching her in the mouth. with a ninja, what is it called? Nunchuck. Yeah, that would be awesome. It just
That's awful.
No, it would be cool if I had like nunchucks and I just like brought them out and was like, it's like, no touching my nuts. Like,
not these nuts.
Not these nuts. Like Bruce Lee style. Maybe that's how he got so good at like fighting.
Fighting
people were always trying to grab his nuts.
He always had that one hand kind of low too, like kind of towards
his dick. Yeah, because he like jacking off right after a match.
Because he was protecting his groin.
He was protecting him. Yeah. They didn't have cups back then.
Yeah.
This is a fact.
We looked up on Wikipedia.
We're looking it up right now on our laptop that we don't have. So we're right now driving over the what is it called?
Skyway Bridge.
The Skyway Bridge, which one time, was it on the way back? It was on the way back to Miami when we first came up here as a band to play. going back down to Miami, and we have it on video too, which is hilarious. I don't even know if that's saved on a thing. Hopefully it is. Anyway, so we're driving in Kenny's old van.
Old van is just, imagine, just a really old van. Did the door in the back not work at that point? Do you remember how that ended up happening?
I think it was working then.
Oh, man.
I think it was.
So it's a van with the back door ended up not locking, so we would have to tie it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was broken yet at this point.
I don't think
that would
so.
have been scary. That
No,
would have been
yeah.
terrifying.
But yeah, so we were driving down the Skyway Bridge, so like on the other side, and one of Kenny's, we were listening to Tame Impala, we were listening to Half a Glass of Wine, and we were jamming out, man. We were fucking like, fuck yeah. And then, I swear to God, I think it's in the video too, is like, I was like, man, it'd be crazy if like,
He did say that.
if like, I don't remember, what was it? I don't remember if I
know.
specifically said like, if like the
Yeah,
tire
I think
goes
you might have
out.
said like something like the car broke down.
Yeah, if the car broke down, like here in the sky, like as we're going down, and literally his fucking tire blew out, like clockwork, dude. And I just shut the video just goes off after that. But yeah, we literally, so after that happened, I think I don't know how long we waited for, like down there. Not probably like maybe like 30 minutes or something.
Yeah, actually, because they have people on this bridge that actually,
Service
they
people.
pull over and try.
They service you sexually.
They check what's wrong with you to get you off the road, because it's kind of a dangerous bridge to be
Yeah.
like
To be, not sexually satisfied on.
It's a 2-lane bridge. It's one of the highest bridges in Florida.
And
So
that's
if you don't know what the
because-
Skyway Bridge, it's pretty epic.
Yeah.
It really is.
And the reason why it's the highest is because they inject marijuana into it every day.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I had to. Banta. Where did Banta? So,
Finally, we get this tire replaced.
so yeah, we
get going. We can't even get back
wait,
home.
hold on. So wait, did he give us a spare?
No, Kenny had a spare.
Okay, so Kenny had a spare. Then we're like, okay, so like the spare is fucking
It's a
super
spare.
small. Yeah.
You don't drive 3 hours
Yeah,
on a spare.
So what? So we drove. So the guy told us that was helping us out. He was like, "You can't drive over 50 miles per hour." Is that right?
Yes.
So we drove 50 to like to a Walmart. I don't remember how close the Walmart was, but it must have been like right off the first exit, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what we did.
So yeah, we drove to a Walmart. We didn't get a tire,
It was
right?
like 100 and something.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
It was expensive. We couldn't afford that. So what we did instead is that we looked for a hotel. I think like the halfway mark between.
Yeah, so
Tampa
we
and
drove
Miami?
halfway there, going 50 miles per hour, and I'm pretty sure we were stopping like every hour or so. Something like that.
Oh, to check the tires.
Yeah. We would pull over and we would check to make sure that we didn't see any tears or anything
and
like
let
that.
the tire cool down.
Yeah, and let the tire cool down again. And then we finally made it halfway, and we stayed at this hotel.
Yeah, where we got fucked up at.
Great.
That was fun. I remember we were watching the Thunder versus.
That's like.
Shit. I don't remember who they were playing against. I do remember it was a Thunder game.
Was it? I think it was playoffs already.
Yeah, it was playoffs.
This is really besides the point, though.
Yeah, no, it was a fun
That was
night,
pretty.
though.
That was pretty epic, though.
Yeah, we went into we ended up in the jacuzzi. Ended up talking to like this old couple. We were just shit faced, and I remember we drank a bunch, and then we went down to the jacuzzi. And I remember I didn't feel anything, even while after an hour or two of being in the jacuzzi. We got out of the jacuzzi, and it wasn't until we got out that I started feeling drunk. And I guess it was because the jets were affecting the nerves, I guess, in our body, or at least me. I think Kenny said the same thing. I think he said that he felt the same way.
That he didn't feel drunk.
Yeah,
till
that he
got
didn't feel drunk till he got out.
I ended up passing out. So.
Yeah, and me and Kenny ended up talking the whole night or whatever. But yeah, that was.
I
that
pretty
was
much
funny.
finished the bottle with you guys, though.
Yeah. We spent a long time actually in that jacuzzi.
Yeah, we did. We really did.
It was fun. But anyway, so that happened, and then I don't really not because of being hungover or whatever, but I don't really remember the trip back after
Getting
that.
home, me either.
I think it was just boring, us just in a car, going 50 miles per hour the
Yeah.
whole time. It wasn't anything special, but that was a funny tale.
It's just crazy that it would happen on that bridge.
Yeah, after I said that it would be crazy if something would happen and it didn't happen.
You guys should Google Skyway Bridge.
Yeah.
I don't think you understand the magnitude.
I'm pretty sure most of the people that would listen to this would know what the fuck.
Why do you have to sass me? I'm just saying.
Our first argument on the podcast.
I'm just saying.
Episode number 1. It didn't take long.
How long do you think we've been recording?
I don't know. Probably for like
3 seconds.
40 minutes. Is it even recording still? Yeah, it is recording.
Oh, 25 minutes.
Damn, that's not long at all.
At all. These podcasts usually go for a long time.
Yeah, like an hour.
I feel like people can do it for a long time, though, because they have things planned to talk about. At least points to touch
Joe
on.
Rogan's doesn't seem like it has points to talk about. He just seems like he starts looking shit up on the internet. Now, I'm not trying to belittle, like, his fucking, like, process. Like, who knows, maybe he does, but I don't think so. I don't know.
Yeah, like, he could have windows open of stuff that he wants to talk about.
I think people just get to the point where it's so natural for them to, like, do that. They know, they already, like, I don't know, things just pop up. You know what I'm saying?
I think we're doing pretty well for our first time, though.
Yeah.
I think the awkwardness has gone down.
Yeah. Because you have to pretend like that's not even recording, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You guys aren't really there.
yeah, like, well, no one's there. It's just a fucking phone recording us talking right now.
Well, I mean, when they listen.
Yeah, when I listen, yeah. But that's weird, though, because it's like a future thing, you know? Like, we're in the past right now.
Today's Friday, September 25th. I don't know when you guys would be listening to this.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, I'm not going to post it for, like, a year, so.
2015. September 25th, 2000.
So what I really mean is that I won't post it till January.
2000.
Booyah!
Future.
Futurific, Futurama. But yeah, so. Anyway, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yeah, so Mark Maron, so his style is like more interview like. He doesn't really like with Joe Rogan. I mean, Joe Rogan, when he does it, like have people on, like let's say a comedian or maybe someone he doesn't know, he'll interview them. Like, for example, Mark Maron was on it. But I feel like his podcast, Joe Rogan's podcast, is more loose, while Mark Maron's seems more like, I mean, I feel like the guy's generally interested in the person he's talking to, so he'll have, he'll ask them questions about their life. And I want to be on his podcast really bad. He's, he's like pretty, not infamous, he's pretty known for like getting people to talk about like dark shit in their life. So I feel like that would be interesting for me to get on there. I wonder if he would get it out.
Probably.
Dark stuff.
You're not that hard to talk to.
No,
you just say shit sometimes. And
yeah,
I'm just
sometimes
like,
I
why
do
did you say that?
Yeah, why did I just say that?
You know?
It's just who I am.
You probably walk in there and just like, yeah, I murdered
Just
a
be
guy.
like crying. Ah, Mark! Life!
Yeah, I just did a bunch of heroin with a homeless guy. What's up? You know?
I just injected heroin to a homeless guy's ass.
Oh my god.
What did you just do? Oh, I just had some coffee. Coffee.coop. That's what he always talks about, coffee.coop. That's like one of his sponsors. Yeah. Plugging a fucking thing. I've never had that before. Neither do I know what it is. I know it's coffee, but I've never had it. I don't know how it works, and we're plugging it right now to no one, so.
Hey, give us money.
No viewers. Only us. We're literally talking to no one. But yeah. So I like his style a lot, and I definitely suggest to anyone that's listening, and to you, Elizabeth.
Stop it.
To listen to that shit, because I love that.
Fucking never, dude.
Oh, and the first one, the reason why I even started listening to anything by him or whatever, because I didn't even know he was
Tom York.
I listened to the Tom York interview, and that shit was awesome. I just, I'm a big fan of Tom York and Radiohead, so I pretty much go online and look for interviews with him and try to see if I can get some insight into that genius,
That is that weird eyeball of his.
Yeah, which, that story is pretty cool, I guess.
We're going back to Tampa.
Oh shit, yeah.
Woo! He was about to take 75 north to head back to Tampa, which is
I'm just so used to doing that. But yeah, it's cool to, I wish Isaac from Modest Mouse had one, like a in-depth one. You know, did I tell you the one that there's one that Alec Baldwin does with Tom York? Have you heard that? Have I told you about that one?
Alec Baldwin interviewed Tom York.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was fucking awesome.
We're gonna have to look that up.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome, yeah. They talk about
Yeah,
like,
so fuck you guys, we're gonna go walk. No, I'm kidding.
so we're just gonna stop talking now.
Brock, in an interview, explained. Have you ever seen that picture of Brock Isaac with that really messed up eye that looks really creepy?
Yeah, I think you told me what that's
He's
about.
in Chicago, right? Standing outside of this club that he's playing at, that they're playing at. If I'm not mistaken, they're playing at. Whatever. He walks outside to have a cigarette, just says hi to these people, and they just beat him up. They just beat him up and left him with this really messed up eye. Which I think is crazy for that to happen to someone.
That's his side of the story.
Yeah, he probably didn't say hi.
He probably went out like, hey, fuck you guys, like for no reason, just like walked out and said, hey, fuck you guys.
I don't know. I also believe that there's no reason or why he would lie either. You know?
No, yeah.
'Cause he calls himself an asshole.
I'm pretty sure that he didn't do shit. There's people out there that will just punch you for no reason. You know?
Yeah, I know. It's pretty fucking crazy.
But hey, that's the story, and it looked cool, like whatever photo that was.
Yeah, I would have taken photos like that too if I ended up with an eye like that.
Yeah, it'd been cool if it stayed like that forever.
Jeez, no, why? No, I guess.
When I was playing.
I mean, unless his vision was messed up, then no. But.
Yeah, it's true. If his vision was fucked up, then no. But when I was playing ball years ago, basketball, I was playing at this. It's called the Optimist. Now, for people who live in Tampa, you don't know what this is. But Miami Lakes Optimist, that's where I live. That's where I live in Miami. Is this town called Miami Lakes, which is technically Hialeah.
High class Hialeah.
Yeah, high class Hialeah. Not saying that I'm like rich or whatever, but we definitely are middle class. We're not like broke or anything. Anyway, so there was this Optimist Park, or this park called Optimist, where both me and Ellie and Kenny would play sports there. That's actually kind of how I met Kenny originally. Was that me and him played in this baseball league together. And then we ended up going to middle school together. But yeah, so Ellie apparently played soccer there. I never met her then, but I was always there. I played baseball and I played basketball, even though, yeah, so the only thing that would go on basketball-wise over there would be practices, and baseball, obviously practice and playing the games was there. And one time that I was just playing basketball there, because I used to do that all the time, because they had courts, I was playing against a group of older guys, a lot older than I was. I must have been like 16, 15 years old. And, dude, I get fucking poked in the eye, like, savagely. Like, this guy just, I don't know, I don't know how he even, like, did this, but I was dribbling the ball, and he just literally stuck his finger, and he had long hands, he had, like, big hands, so he stuck his finger right into my eye. And dude, not only did this shit hurt really bad, but I couldn't see. So I was worried, but it's like, I don't know, like, I guess my man pride or whatever. I was like, I'm not going to stop playing. I'm going to keep playing, which is like the dumbest thing ever, because I literally couldn't see out of my eye, and it was my left eye. So yeah, so I just keep playing or whatever, and I start to like kind of feel like lightheaded and stuff, so I kind of slow down, and the guys are like, oh, are you okay, whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'm fine, let's just keep going, let's just go. I'm just basically, like I said, like pride, and whatever, I didn't pass out or anything, but I had to like slow down, and dude, I couldn't see, man, I legit couldn't see, and I think I couldn't see, like I didn't actually get my vision back for like 10 minutes, I would say. And whatever, so I kept playing. I don't think like I don't think I hurt myself really bad, but I remember that day I went home and I looked in the mirror and my fucking eye color was literally like a lighter green than my usual dark green, because I have like dark green, brownish eyes. My left eye was like a light green, and I think it was like that for a couple days, which was fucking cool. So I wish it would. I think it might still be a shade, maybe like a shade lighter than my right eye. I don't really know, but it might be. I think it is. I think it's a little lighter. Every time I look at it, it seems like it's lighter. But I don't know.
You lose your vision in that eye, no?
I used to see fine in both eyes. Yeah, it's like the same in both eyes. So I doubt that it did anything. But it would be kind of interesting to like figure out like what the fuck that was about. Like why it even changed color like that. Maybe I was just tripping out, you know.
Too much LSD, man.
Even though I've never done psychedelics besides pot, but that's not really considered a psychedelic. Or is it mild psychedelic? Mild
I guess it
hallucinogen?
can cause those things.
Yeah, if you smoke way too much. Anyway, so yeah, that was a weird thing.
Eyeball stories.
I knew a kid who had a completely different eye. I know it's like a thing.
With a different eye.
He had a different eye. He had the eye of a tiger. I have a tiger. No, he had a different eye color. So one of his eyes was green and the other one was like blue-gray. It was fucking cool.
Every time he walks into a room, that just happens.
That's like they named the song is like named after him, even though it's not his name. But
Yeah, that song was named.
the song was named after his eye color. His cool eye of the tiger. Whatever. I'm driving. I'm like focusing on this big S, or is that a E? Big E.
Big E.
Big E smiles, motherfucker.
It's a truck full of gas. It's actually kind of.
It's actually a truck full of Biggie Smalls parts.
It's awful.
Biggie Smalls' body lays in this truck called Biggie.
Is it raining or is that the truck?
I think it's probably.
We're gonna
water.
die, guys. We're gonna die.
We are already dead.
Oh my
We
god.
are already dead. Rah, 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 rah. Is it roar, roar, roar?
The Roger. We just finished watching 30 Rock. That show's pretty hysterical.
Yeah, if you don't watch 30 Rock, you're a fucking asshole.
Just stop listening to this right now.
And never leave
Just
your
forget
home.
that you even listened to the first part of this.
Yeah.
Just stop.
So, going back to the comedy thing, like,
Roger.
I know you like comedy, obviously, because you like 30 Rock and you like, you know, The Office and shit. But you also like stand-up. I don't know if you're as into stand-up as I am. I mean, you might be around the same.
I mean, I like it. I'm really bad with names of people.
Yeah, I know. So I know for sure she likes Izzy. Fuck, what's his name?
I'm gonna let
Izzard.
Eddie Izzard.
Eddie Izzard. He's pretty funny. Yeah.
Highbrow humor.
Eyebrow humor. I'm more a fan of like, I guess, urban. Is that what you would call it?
That's racist.
It's not racist because it could be like a white person or. But I like urban.
He likes your mama jokes.
No, not like that. It's more
He
like.
loves your mama jokes.
I don't know. Maybe that's not right. I don't know.
wouldn't. I mean, I can laugh at anything.
I like
if it's funny. If it's
because like Cat Williams. I remember when I don't know if it's the Chronicles. Is that what it is? No, American Hustler. When he came out with that special, and it's like he starts off with the song Every Day I'm Hustling. That song
in the library,
comes on.
you know?
Yeah, and he's just talking about like the different like the people at like McDonald's, the people at the
You're
library.
hustling as long as you're working.
That shit made me laugh so hard when I first saw that. I mean, I cracked up so hard, dude. Like, that shit made me laugh. It was just like his mannerisms are so hilarious, man. It was
My
just,
favorite
like,
is definitely the librarian.
Yeah, like when he's
shit
like,
in the books.
like fucking like flipping pages and shit. That shit made me laugh so fucking hard, dude.
First
and then
time-
the McDonald's one.
Yeah,
or
the
Burger
first
King.
time I watched that one, I was actually working at a Burger King, so I thought that was pretty hysterical.
That is pretty funny.
and pretty accurate, you know. So
Yeah, because Ellie totally like blasted Every Day I'm Hustling or whatever the song's called, and
Yeah.
just like did those mannerisms while she was working.
yeah, it's
You know.
pretty spot on. So I worked with a lot of people who actually listen to that type of music, and they would actually blast like that type of music in the back out of a boombox, not loud enough so that customers could hear it, but definitely like where you could hear it in the kitchen. So
Yeah, once you travel to that orifice.
yeah, you were like, where?
It's not the correct word for the back of a kitchen, an orifice.
You didn't even say it. You said like
Orifice. You know what an orifice is?
What's an orifice?
It's a hole in your body. So Your mouth.
So every
Your
time
ass.
we traveled to the whole of this body.
That would be a cool name for like a band, Orifice.
No, what?
I like that. Hey, what's your band's name? Orifice. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. I might be saying that wrong.
It sounded like you said something different when you first said it.
I think I said it right.
Who knows?
Who knows?
That area of the kitchen, yes, you would hear very loud hip-hop music.
Okay, I'm checking to see if it's still recording. It's still recording. We got 40 minutes in, motherfucker! It's cool. That's pretty dope. 40 minutes. Look at that car. Can you guys see that car? You can
It's a
see
nice
that car.
It's a nice car.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna.
I think we did very well for our first time without having anything really planned or anything.
Yeah, it was good.
Sorry if this was awkward at any moment.
Yeah, it was awkward.
We don't care.
It was awkward the whole time. So what's gonna happen now is that as we wrap up, I mean, I'm not saying that we're finished now. Or
We're
whatever,
done.
But as we finish, once we stop recording, we're just not gonna talk for like days. Now it's gonna feel awkward to not have something recording when
Yeah.
we talk. That'd be funny. But shit. Okay, so I wanted to talk about comedians. So, like I said, like I didn't know Mark Maron very well until I listened to his interview. But then he has this special on Netflix called Thinky Pain. Yeah, Thinky Pain, and it's actually really funny. I think you would like it too, actually, if you saw it. But he's more like his comedy is. He's not really a joke writer. He does have jokes in there, but he's more of like he talks about his life, and he does it in a like mindful way. I don't know.
Double rainbow.
He's more of like a, oh shit, I've never seen that before.
Oh, I've seen it
Fucking
before.
badass.
There's literally a double rainbow
Yeah,
happening.
there's literally a double rainbow happening to our left, and they're gonna collide, and then the world is gonna explode.
To the left, to the left. Or is it to the right? Whatever.
No, it's to our left.
No, the song I meant.
You're to the left. That's my right.
Comedians. Mark Maron.
Yeah, so it's more of like a head comedy, like I guess not like a more like a philosophical comedy, I guess. I like that a lot. But I like a lot of other things. We just saw Chris Tucker live. That shit was hilarious, dude. That shit was so funny. And I hadn't seen him in a long time, you know. And I don't know. I think it's my brother, my older brother, who got me into like that urban type of comedy. Like for example, Life. If you've never seen the movie Life, you should fucking watch it. It's hilarious. It's Eddie Murphy, Bernie Mac, Chris Martin. Yeah, no, not Chris Martin. Martin Lawrence. Fucking Chris Martin. What the fuck am I saying? Martin Lawrence. Who else is in it? There's a bunch of funny ass motherfuckers in that shit. And that movie is just hilarious, dude. The whole time it's just really funny. You know? And I don't really like a lot of Eddie Murphy's movies, like Norbit or whatever, those new ones. I didn't see that one where he doesn't talk. Have you seen that one?
Which one?
The one where he doesn't talk in it?
No.
I don't know what that's called, but anyway, I do like the Nutty Professor though. Those are funny. But whatever. So it's a funny movie. I would say go watch it. Now, what we could talk about for like hours is The Office. I mean, that's our thing. It's my thing. It's my favorite show of all time.
Mine would have to be 30 Rock.
Yeah, she's smart.
Seinfeld.
I introduced her to 30 Rock though,
You
so
didn't.
I feel special.
You introduced me to The Office too.
I
I
did.
hated that show.
That show's the fucking.
I don't know what was really wrong with me at the time. It's kind of a hard show to get into.
Yeah, you have to understand the humor. I think if you don't watch it from the beginning, it's hard to like get into because although it doesn't really follow a story, it helps to know the story because then you kind of know like the characters. And I mean, if you watch it from the beginning, you can totally see how the characters grow. For example, Michael. I mean, Michael goes through so many phases, you know, which I love that about his character. And same thing with Jim and Pam and Dwight. Dwight goes through his stages, I guess. I guess that's a better word, not phases, stages. Although with Michael, he always goes back and forth between like different like phases, like his like really dumb phase or his really like dumb but actually quite like deep phase, you know, where he actually gives some good advice. Like for example, when he tells Jim to keep trying, you know. I mean, that's a fucking monumental part in that show, you know, when Jim is just like,
he says, "Fuck that other bitch he was with."
Yeah, exactly.
Breaks up with her that night. Awkward.
Yeah. So
All rain.
that's pretty monumental that Michael's the guy that got him to fucking, you know, continue this, I guess, this love for Pam. So it's starting to rain now, so you might be able to hear. I don't know how loud. but yeah. Oh, let's talk about this real quick. So, I don't know. It'd be interesting to talk about, I guess, like, new songs that we're working on right now. What do you think?
Yeah.
As a topic, because he's.
Which song?
So I'm gonna say this because this will be probably the best medium to like have Ellie actually like analyze and go into depth on like a music topic, I guess. Because like music, if you ask her a question about like a new song or something, she'll be like, "Yeah, it's fun." She'll really like.
Damn, you're putting me on the spot.
Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot. Explaining. She doesn't explain herself thoroughly.
I'm really bad at that.
Yeah, she'll just be like, "Yeah, it's cool." So it's like me and Kenny are just like, "Oh, how do you like the song?" "Yeah, it's fine." They're just like, "Oh, so she doesn't like it, right?" But no, that's just the way she is. She actually probably likes the song.
If I didn't like it, I would tell you. Hell, fuck no.
Yeah.
I don't like that song.
But yeah. So there's one song that we learned already, which there's no title to it, nor are there lyrics. But it's pretty much inspired by the Pixies and Radiohead. Because it's like, the Pixies are like one of my new favorite bands. I don't know if it's new. I've been listening to them now for a couple of years.
But new in the sense that that's been, for me, it was Sublime.
It was the French version of Sublime. Sublime.
Oh, what's your favorite band? Sublime. It was Sublime and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That really influenced me and got me going into music. And then after that, it had to be Modest Mouse. And since Modest Mouse, which is I mean that band was like literally the only band I was listening to for like 2 years. Nothing else really caught my ear, just like them, and then the Pixies happened, and now I'm barely listening to Modest Mouse songs. Now I'm listening to the Pixies.
Yeah, which I think that's funny because Ellie got me into Modest Mouse, and I think the only reason why she got me into them is because she would literally have it on every fucking time I'd go over. And you just, you know, I didn't like it at first, honestly, because I'm a guy who likes, I like singers, you know. I'm like I'm a huge Beatles fan.
He's awful.
At the time, I was a big Radiohead fan already by high school. So I'm like into like, you know, melodic singers, and like they have really nice voices and stuff. And this guy doesn't have a nice voice at all. He actually kind of has a shitty voice. Hopefully he never hears this, me talking shit about his voice. Although he can sing, because there's definitely songs like Little Motel that sound fucking awesome.
But being influenced by the Pixies, you really would think about it.
Yeah.
If you were him, if you were Brock, it's not. You know.
But yeah, so what I was going to was like, so you got me into Modest Mouse, but then I found the Pixies, and I don't even know why I started listening to them. It must have just been because I like, you know, I always.
I remember telling you a lot that Radiohead and Modest Mouse were really into the Pixies.
Yeah.
But I never bothered to give them a freaking listen, you know.
Yeah. So. I think one day, I mean, because like I would always like, what I like to do is I always like to research like the bands that like my bands like. So, you know, Radiohead really liked the Pixies, R.E.M., the Smiths, and then Modest Mouse also had that connection with the Pixies. So I think one day I just started listening to them, and I don't remember if I liked it at first. I don't think I did. I think I might have liked it. Hey, oh, and I saw the documentary. I think what is it called? Loud, Soft, Loud, or whatever.
Yeah.
And that kind of helped me, like, I guess, give me some insight into their like into them, which I want to now that I really like them and like I've listened to all their shit, I should go back and watch it again and see like how like the difference now. So anyway, I started listening to them like crazy because I mean I just love it. Like to me, honestly, I feel like the Pixies are like, I feel like they have like such like a lot of. I feel like he takes a lot of his stuff from like the Beatles, and I feel like not like when I say that I don't think people like understand what I'm talking about, but I just maybe it's like the songwriting. I feel like his songwriting is really similar to like the Beatles and stuff like that. I feel like that's why I like them so much because he's not the best singer, but he does have really good melodies. Like there's for example, we're just listening to Trump, was it, how do you pronounce it? Trompe le Monde?
Yeah, Trompe le Monde.
Trompe le Monde? Yeah, so we were listening to that yesterday, and I was noticing how, like, most of the songs, the guitar parts are really, like, they're not very, like, distinguished, you know what I'm saying? They're like, pretty much just, like, the backbone, almost. But his melodies, man, all his melodies in the songs are just, like, so fucking good. Like, they're so catchy, and I'm just, like, not catchy like in a poppy way, just catchy in a fucking cool way.
Catchy in a poppy way too sometimes. Sometimes. It's really hard to understand what he's saying, but you don't forget how he said it. Like, I can hum like parts of songs of his melodies, but I wouldn't know. Number one, I'm really like, the name of the song or whatever, but like I just know I really like that part. I don't know. I feel like what's Cactus?
Yeah.
Right. Cactus is a really badass song without it being obnoxiously loud. And I think that is something that they do really well too.
You know what's crazy about that song too? That fucking song is a blues, man. It's a fucking blues song. Really? Yeah. And it's like a blues major too, which is like crazy to me because it doesn't sound like it at all. It sounds like a fucking punk song, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
it does.
It sounds like
it's
a fucking cool punk song. Yeah, it is because of the drums.
And the bass.
And the melody too, though.
Yeah.
Because it's not like a blues, but the fucking guitar part is going boom, 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 boom. That's fucking blues, man. Sitting here wishing I was seeing it.
And it doesn't really get loud, but no. I swear to God, I feel like a badass every time I'm listening to that song.
Yeah, it does. It's
like,
the drums.
If it was a loud song, that's probably what it is. Yeah. It's just the drums are.
The drums are fucking loud. But when they play it live too, I don't think they get that loud anyway.
No, they don't. They don't.
But that's like the beauty of it, though. It's like.
Creating a feel
fucking cool, man.
Yeah, they're a freaking great band.
I was telling Ellie yesterday how like I really like one of my favorites, or probably my favorite song right now off of Trompe le Monde is the Sad Punk, and it's just like so fucking badass to me. Like it's just like I don't know what he's saying. It sounds like he's saying something Extinction, like it's Extinction. And it's just like yelling, man. He's just fucking yelling. It's like I didn't like that before. I didn't like that type of singing, but he got me into it because he has a really good way of mixing it in with like the really nice melody. And that song specifically, what does it do? It fucking stops, it slows down, and then it goes into that really nice part, like that.
Yeah.
Like that's just fucking like awesome, man, and I love that shit.
And I also feel like another reason why it was so easy to get into them. It was how exciting it is to listen through an album from them because their songs sound different. Their songs sound so similar but different. It's weird, especially their earlier albums because of the way they were set up while recording. Like the drums all sound the same through Surfer Rosa, right?
Yeah.
Surfer Rosa.
Yeah, because they were recorded in like a room or some shit, a locker or some shit like that.
Yeah. But his melodies are really different, and the guitar parts are really different, and that obviously makes it so that the bass part has to be really different. And I think that it's one of the hardest things to do as a musician is to not get roped up in the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, I feel like when we eventually get the opportunity to record like in a studio, I guess, or whatever, I've been wondering about that. I've been thinking to myself, how would we record drums? Because a lot of bands, they'll record drums like literally the same way throughout the whole album, and that's how you get that like sound, the drum sound for the album, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm one where I'm like, well, I feel like every song should sound different, you know, because that's just that's how I am. Is that the right thing to do, though?
I mean, I think
Probably
I think not, just because the idea for our first thing would be to just go out sounding as good as possible, you know. And once we have more time, a nicer budget, and stuff like that, it would be good to experiment with that. Because, like, I also think that, like, We Were Dead Before the Ship Even Sank sounds really different within itself when it comes to the drums. I don't think that every single song sounds the same drum-wise. So...
And I don't mean like parts. I mean like the way it's recorded.
Yeah, the way it's recorded.
Like
I
the drum sound.
Yeah, I don't think the drums. I mean, maybe there might be like 2 songs on that album that probably sound the same, but other than that, I mean, he's using like electronic drum sets for one song, and he's using like, you know, different like add-ons, like different cymbals and things like that. He's, you know, hitting the freaking rim of his snare in one song, so it's like, you know, it sounds different within itself, but I don't know how much they moved around and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
Or maybe if it was just like a whole new drum set entirely.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, that would obviously change the sound drastically, is using a different drum set.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, for example, like our EP. Like the way that the reason why the drums sound so different, they were recorded in the same place. So that's why the drums, although they're different, we even recorded in different times, right?
Which EP?
Our the Mecánico Vida y la Luna.
Didn't I record? I know I did on the parking garage. I did on the moon.
No, we did all of them on the parking garage. I just remember if we did them all in one day. I think we did them on separate days.
Yeah, I think we did them on separate days.
I think we did song by song, actually.
Yeah, but the thing is, I was set up on different spots on the parking garage.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, even though we recorded on different days and stuff like that, and even had mics placed in different areas, I feel like the drums generally sound like they came from the same area. Like, I feel like you can hear that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like,
Yeah.
even the way that we all did mixing, and we also EQ'd the drums differently for each song. I did this. I made a point to do this for Machines, for example. The beginning drums are on a completely different EQing and track than the ending drums. So, and you can't really tell, I guess. But I haven't looked at the mix in such a long time.
Yeah.
But from what I remember, the beginning has like a more emphasis on the kick, which makes sense because it's a doom, doom, doom.
Yeah.
And then the ending is more.
I think that also it's a pretty big.
Scratching my ass right now. Sorry.
I didn't need to know that.
Everyone needs to know that.
How can I word this? A parking garage creates a lot of echo, and I think I think that echo is an effect that is very, it's very noticeable. So I think that picking that setting made it so that we really couldn't deviate from that sound necessarily. You know, it would have to have been, you know, how easy would it have been to get different sounds in just a regular studio? You get like paper sounds, you know what I mean? Like it would have to have been a completely different drum set probably for it to sound significantly different.
Yeah, the only reason why I would ever want to record in a studio again is because, like, I know that at least not until a while from now, that we wouldn't be able to get, like, the best sound that we possibly could. But I also feel like the album won't come out how we want it to. I, personally, although it doesn't sound as good, I like the new EP way more than the other one. I'm not trying to bash paper sounds or whatever, because they did a good job with it. But I think that, I mean, personally, I'm meticulous about like how the sound comes, and
Yeah, I mean,
I'd
who's
want
to
to
say
be
that
more.
you couldn't get that sound though out of a studio?
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
possible.
but I feel like, okay, so then like to do that, like I would have to be involved with the mixing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Which is usually the case.
I would hope so. Like that's what I'm afraid of. Now, what would I rather have? I'd rather have like someone like a fucking Nigel Godrich or whatever from Radiohead, like hit their engineer, producer. I would love to have someone give us like a sound that we couldn't get ourselves, but that's so fucking good that we just like can't deny the fact that we need him. You know what I'm saying? Like that person that totally gets like what we're.
Just haven't bumped into that person yet.
Yeah. So if we do find someone like that, that would be amazing. You know, because then we can literally just make music and we don't have to worry about the mixing aspect of it. Even though I love it.
Studio and just sit there and record it all.
I love it. I personally, I love.
I don't think you would ever not want to be part of that whole process, even if we did have someone who was good at what they did. So.
No. But I guess not be like the soul. Not the soul, but like be doing the majority of it. You know, rather than just kind of like
just be there because it's still our music. You know, I would want to be there too during the whole thing, or as much as possible. Because who's to say that we wouldn't like record and then have to go out on a tour or something like that and start exchanging, like just email back and forth the files until we get something that we all like or something like that. But at least for the most part, I would want to be part of that process too.
Yeah, like so for example, I don't really remember, and I feel like if I were to like say, oh, well, I did this much or whatever, blah blah blah, I don't really know. It's probably just me. But do you remember how much of the mixing, like how much it was split off? Because Shane did none of it for sure, because he doesn't know how to.
It was between you and Kenny mainly. Yeah. Okay. I didn't do much.
You just mixed like the drum. I think you like EQ the drums probably. Yeah. And Kenny.
I definitely listened to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah, and told us what you thought or whatever. Yeah, because Kenny did more of like cleaning up not my mess, because I wouldn't say it was a mess, but he just kind of like, you know, I would mix whatever portions and then he would go in and fix stuff, or maybe not fix it, but just adjust it to like what he thought was right. And I guess we had like a middle ground. We would like get to a middle ground, and that's how the album came out. But I definitely know that a lot of the ideas that I came up with in terms of like making the drums sound bigger, or making them sound like they were actually stereo or whatever, you know, we ended up sticking to or whatever.
Yeah, I feel like what we did on the EP with recording it on that rooftop helped with that. And I think that it made that EP sound a lot bigger than the one we did with Paper Sound. Because I just think that I don't mind having clean songs. I just think that the songs that we chose to record with them were not those songs that needed to be clean. I think that Nice to Meet You came out very well.
Yeah, that one did come out really good.
I think that that's maybe the issue that we're bumping into is that we
I feel like
without knowing it, we were always going for that Pixie sound where we wanted to sound dirty as hell.
I mean, the thing is, I wouldn't call it dirty though. I would call it, like, I get what you're saying because of the way that we recorded it for the EP.
No, the songs itself call for kind of like a crunchier EQing and mixing, you know. When you have a song like, you know, like a song like Fade Out, which we recorded with them, right? With Paper Sound? Yeah.
We did. Yeah. Right. I mean, we recorded the guitar parts ourselves.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that, for example, like once we hit the ending, that called for a completely different mix than the rest of the song, and I don't feel like they took the time to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
You get what I mean?
I guess that's mainly my problem with what happened there, because I feel like if we were to mix that, each part in a song would sound like it's
like that part,
there's movement, you know. I feel like that needs to be the case. Now, I'm sure it was probably because, one, we were probably bugging the fuck out of them because we wanted the mix already done, and two, because we had recorded the guitars, all the guitar stuff. Yeah, if we had
been there from the beginning, maybe it would have been a different
story. Well, who knows? I don't know. I didn't like I remember we told them no dubs, no vocal dubs.
And they did it?
And they did it anyway. I didn't like that. I listened to like Lungs Full of Water. I'm like, that would sound so much better with one vocal. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's maybe parts that you can have dubbed, but
yeah, not the whole thing.
Maybe it's not dubbed. Maybe it's just the effect that they use. But I don't know. Just that now they're, and you know what else too? I feel like we kind of like had that phase of just having way too much fucking effects on our vocals, when now I guess maybe it's because now I'm more comfortable with my voice. I'd rather have like a really dry track, and then like a have like the effects.
That's what they did, no?
It's just the effects are more muddy. They're more muddy, which is what we told them to do. It's our fault, or my fault, or whatever. Like, for example, I remember...
I've always said you guys are putting too much...
Effects.
Yeah, effects.
Yeah, we had like that Tame Impala sound, you know what I'm saying?
Even when we played live, you guys were like, yeah, just more.
Yeah. I don't... Now, all I would need now is just a little bit of reverb, and that would be great. But you can't blame us being insecure about our voices.
Ooh. We totally hit the hour mark.
Well,
we done good.
I guess we could call it after that. After hitting an hour.
Yeah. It's hard to get people to sit there and listen for more than an hour.
Yeah. But yeah, so that is our first podcast, I guess. We want to start doing this thing. Well, I just literally brought this up to Ellie today. I want to do like a drunk cast where we have like a podcast and we're all drinking in it. And it's not really it's gonna be kind of like our podcast today, where it's just gonna be us talking about random shit. It's not really gonna have like, I kind of don't want to have like thing in mind. I mean, I'm maybe having a couple things in mind to talk about, but not like structured. Like I feel like it just doesn't come off naturally.
Can't do that with drunk people.
Yeah, that's true.
It would be really tough.
Yeah, I don't think we would keep up really well with that. But
especially
how
you get when you're drunk. Jeez.
Oh, whatever. So we're gonna start doing that, and that'll be fun to do. I think we'll have like our, whatever, the rest of the band, and Andy, our manager. Maybe have like start doing it with like Jordan Esker and stuff like that. That'd be cool.
Can we have pizza too?
We can have pizza. Maybe we can make pizza while it's happening. But yeah, so that'll be, our next thing. Oh, we can start inviting like our friends over too to do it.
Yeah. It could be really, really random.
Yeah.
We can start talking about one thing and then see where it goes from there.
Yeah. The only thing I'm worried about is equipment. I don't know if we have the equipment for it, because usually people have like headphones. We only have one thing that we could use. So.
Yeah, but usually people do have headphones.
Yeah, so I don't know if we need to go buy that. I mean, I'm sure it can't be that expensive.
I don't know.
Maybe we can
look into it. I mean, now we have to see how this sounds.
Yeah, true. That'd be shitty if it sounded like shit.
I know, because we've just been an hour yapping.
Yeah.
So.
Whatever. But yeah, so peace and love.
Damn
from us. I guess we can plug our band page. You can check us out on Facebook.com/House of I. That is the letter I, not EYE. And we have a Bandcamp profile as well. Which is what is it? Bandcamp.houseofi.com. So yeah, check us out. We got our music on there, and we will have some shows coming up, which I guess if we do start doing this regularly, we'll just start plugging those in and whatnot. But yeah, thanks for listening, and now we will be signing off. If I could do that properly, yeah. Peace and love, motherfuckers.